what is the best season of our favorite shows? This is...
That's fine.
Welcome back,
Sorry. You're good. You're good. Guess who hates me here?
Not at all. Welcome back, everybody, to Versus. Oh yeah, this is gonna be an interesting episode. I feel like this is gonna be the episode in this season that actually I think could go either way. I'm curious to jump into it. But today we are looking at what is the best season of Power Rangers, and we are going to be having the matchup of Power Rangers Wild Force versus, I almost said Power Rangers Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah. Just like the Thomas comics.
All right. Who wants to talk about this matchup? Who wants to crack at it? I don't have any guests. Nobody got back to me on time. We're gonna have to save that one for the next episode. I only got one.
Didn't we have a video we were supposed to play last episode?
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you bad opinions. Hey, Gatsby here, and they're most nights after 9 p.m. I've got 2 minutes, so don't complain. It's not my video. Compared to Deca Rangers, SPD hit very similar story beats. Sure, we've got some new stuff, but it's mostly a retread with the shiny coat of new cast. Watched very little of Gangaman, but I can certainly tell you that it's not Starship Trooper meets very colorful spandex. Both of these are pretty S tier. I'm going to have to give it to Galaxy, though, because the set really feels like, wow, they're on a space colony. SPD is just as good, they just don't have the Astro Megazord, so I'm gonna simp. Coming off of In Space, you'd think that's a tough act to follow. Scorpius getting plotted against Trakina's entire character arc. These guys make the Shadow Line look like best friends. Look, Sid, this match is stacked up against you. Kendrix is a great character, and Astronema, come on. Bridge is fun. Early foreshadowing of the A-Team. Becomes a red later on. Pretty cool. Damon's also cool, but yeah, I'm just gonna have to give it to Bridge. Kai's appeal to authority and not always seeing eye to eye with the Red Ranger makes him a very unique character. Oh, wait a minute, that's also Sky. Anyways, I'm going to give it to Sky because I like his team dynamic a little bit more, and him and Jack really put him over Kai in this regard. Leo wasn't originally selected for the program, but becomes the Red later. Wait, Mike dies, he takes a sword to prove to himself that he's worth it. Anyways, Jack's a great character too, but I'm giving it to Leo. Finally, Magnet Defender, the avatar of vengeance, who is later revealed to be Mike, who fell into a hole early on, gets saved by the power of the Defender, and then ultimately sacrifices himself to be a real hero. And the Omega Ranger, who was a little kid who went back in time so he could be a ball of light. And with that, I guess Lost Galaxy wins. At least that's what I would say if it wasn't for Anubis Donkey Kruger. This character pulls the whole team together so well by pushing all the right buttons and making them work together. His storyline is so satisfying. When he imprisons Grum at the end, you feel that finality of he's really done it through that fat rubber mask. He's so wise, you'd think Sam threw him a bone from the future and gave him the script. He's on 5-dimensional chess out here with his tactics. This guy comes off as a hard ass every single time, but over time you really start to understand exactly how complex this character is through each interaction. It's a perfect example of how to correctly write characters like this. And look, I'm gonna say it. I like this version a little bit more than the Deca Ranger version. The out-of-suit design was really fucking good, and the Shadow Ranger still drips. And at this point, I would say the winner is SPD. Wow, that's really crazy that SPD managed to pull off this one. And Squall, this one's just for you. Make sure to cut this off at the end. I'm going to record myself saying both contenders and keep them in separate audio files. Just make sure you pick whichever one wins. That way I don't look like an idiot. All right, thanks.
I know, like, a lot of cats, like, struggle, like, we had talked about for, like, a moment ago, we talked about before in previous episodes, like, talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, just for the nostalgia alone, makes it difficult sometimes for people to, like, rock with it because so many people can't let go of it. And I don't mean that in a bad way but there's so much of the Power Ranger history out here, but like we keep going back to MMPR, as the foundation of it all. And I get it. I mean, I get it. Like without MMPR, we don't have this other stuff. I more than understand that. And I love MMPR, like that was for everyone, for like a lot of people in America, that was their first crack at Super Sentai. At least an Americanized version. So there's some major importance there. I love the team. Yes, there were many changes. Yes, like the first season and a half, I love. The second half of season 2, yeah, it's cool. More changes, new team, new teammates. Third season, as I talked about before, like third season's rough. It's rough. And so, like, now when you discuss this, do you discuss this as 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers compared to 1 season of Wild Force? Or are you doing the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers compared to the only season of Wild Force? Now, then, like, my whole thing is this. Wild Force, Two fantastic episodes. The team up with Time Force is great.
Yeah, underrated.
Massively underrated. Love it. Won't let it go. It's great. And plus, it gave us Forever Red. Now, Forever Red, that's the Disney episode. That's when Disney's like, oh, 10-year anniversary. We got money. Don't we got money? Yeah, we got some. Come on, let's go. Let's go. And so we get the Return of the Machine Empire. So we're getting Power Rangers lore again. And we get all the Red Rangers except Rocky, who, if he was there, he'd been the Ninja Red, with the uniform on the and whatnot. The Kaku Red, in a lot of ways, but tongue tied. Anyway, like I go with MMPR because without MMPR, you don't have Wild Force. But MMPR, like I said, the first season alone off the strength is dope. Seriously, it really is. Yes, it's goofy. Yes, it can be fun, but they embrace it. They understand it. They accept it. You get green with evil, which for some people it's like, because I know when the conversation with Tommy, the way the conversation with Tommy goes, it's either a love or hate thing. There's no in between. I get it. I do. I understand. But like people forget about episodes like Countdown to Doomsday. Power Rangers had like a lot of multiple part episodes. Return of an Old Friend. There's a lot of cool stuff in MMPR, including the only they had like a freaking like 2-night primetime debut for season 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. And so like who you get introduced to Lord Zed. Rita's gone, and new Zords. And so, and once again, like Allsace was talking about with Lost Galaxy versus SPD, now we get to see them be very creative.
Yes.
With different footage.
Yeah.
And,
now,
sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Let's go to brass tacks right now. All right. First of all, nothing in Wild Force is as good as Green with Evil. Nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I said it. Let me continue.
Zenaku is a better Tom. I'm sorry. What?
No. All right. Second of all, Lord Zed is a better villain than any of the villains in Wild Force. All right. Okay, controversial statement too. All right. Number 3, Wild Force is trying so hard to be Mighty Morphin, and it's not.
No.
It's trying to be Mighty Morphin. Very hard. The team
Wild Force is. Keep going. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm
trying to be the bad guy this episode just for fun. But no, really, honestly, I do feel everything's developed better in Mighty Morphin compared to Wild Force. I feel like what's the bad guy's name in Wild Force again? Not Meslick. What was that?
Oh yeah, Master Org.
I feel like he's just a pre-incel. When you look at his backstory and his origin, I feel like that's what all he is.
Incels existed before, like the last 10 years.
I know. But I'm saying that's what he basically is. That's like he's just mad because he didn't get laid and the lady had another family. Yeah, that's what it is. And I always laughed at the idea that he became a monster just because he didn't get laid.
It's literally the plot of Taxi Driver.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But also, I never felt as a kid, I never felt afraid of him. I was afraid of Zed. Zed is a terrifying looking bad guy.
Absolutely.
His brain sticking out. I thought he was part of Hellraiser. Yeah. He's crazy looking.
The tubes and everything.
Yeah. And the debut of the White Ranger and the mystery of who's the White Ranger was done awesome when you were a kid at that perfect age for that.
Yeah, I felt like I was scared of both of them. Obviously Lord Zed because he looks like Satan with I don't know, they're keeping him on life support somehow. But to kind of draw a good line between Wild Force and Ninja Storm, the what was her name? The villain, and she had that goofball that she would run around with. I was scared of them. I was I would hate. Yeah. I would hate to be at school and run into them. I know going down and I need to go home now. But you turn it around and then you have Ninja Storm where they had those two, and I was just all right, I'll see what they're up to. I don't know. Lord Zed is a great villain. Like you can't sleep on that. But I feel like there were good villains in Wild Force too that I felt like, oh, what is
such as Zenaku. Such as Zenaku.
Yeah.
One of the dopest villains of all time, dude.
He is. He's really good.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing between him and Merrick. That's so dope. That's like such a dope way to introduce a sixth ranger, make him like a monster and then a human. That's just cool. The way he steals,
like at the end when they just kind of go off together. That's awesome.
Yeah, that ending where they're in the forest. Come on, that's just sick. That's like Wild Force's one redeeming quality. To be honest,
I'm gonna say, can you name another storyline that's famous in Wild Force, or even remotely that good that lasted more than one episode?
Cole's parents.
I can say one storyline that's not good.
That's the main premise of the show, though. Like that's like the main driving story. But like, there's no arc other than Zenaku one that's actually memorable to me, at least.
That's true.
Story that's important to any other ranger in that group.
Yo, Josh, what was the bad episode?
Oh, the storyline with Kite. That's the whole storyline. It's bad.
When I was doing Let's Talk Toku, I had a guest on there. His name is Taka. He runs Kotetsu Toys Japan, and he had it's crazy, like to have somebody come on and you ask them questions and they tell you like about their life, about their work, about whatever, and to have him turn around and ask me as an American who grew up with Power Rangers versus him growing up with Sentai, like he asked me a bunch of questions, and the one that he was trying to wrap his mind around was why Jew Ranger was our main one, that obviously it's our first one, but like why is that the one that we're always trying to sell? Because he's like, we don't really sell Go Ranger stuff anymore. Like Aka Red will just show up, or like they have the anniversary Red guy. But like Go Ranger isn't like, we're not always trying to sell Go Ranger stuff. So he thought that was really interesting and unique that we have a system in place or fans in place that are so caught up in that nostalgia bubble, that they're so heavily like reliant upon that show that they watched way back then, that they probably don't even remember anything other than like, yeah, Tommy the Green Ranger.
It also plays with the fact that like this country loves dinosaurs. And like and that plays with it too, because like a lot of us know that like when Jurassic World, the first one, came out, like that movie made a bunch of money. And a lot of us know that movie wasn't no good. But you want to know what? People want to see them dinosaurs, though. They wanted to see them dinosaurs. They wanted to see them velociraptors. They wanted to see this made-up super dinosaur or whatever, and the velociraptors go up against it. You know what I mean? So, like...
Oh, you mean Jurassic World. I think you meant Jurassic Park, like back in the 90s. And you're saying that movie wasn't good, and I was like, what?
Yeah, that's a classic.
Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic Park is amazing, okay? Let me be clear. I'm talking about Jurassic World.
Which one came out first? Power Rangers or Jurassic Park?
Power Rangers.
Same year. I think they're both 93.
Yeah, Power Rangers.
If only we had some kind of device.
Keep going. June 9th, 93.
It's August and June. June and August.
This country, it has an infatuation with dinosaurs. And so for like, toy companies, they're like, dinosaurs sell no matter what. We can sell a dinosaur. And so like that nostalgia is locked up into it too. Plus it's also because of like, with animation history, like people are like, they're used to seeing like a certain team. So if this is the first team, this is the foundation, and we can't let the foundation go. And you know what I mean? Like right or wrong. And now granted, later animation changed that. Perfect example is Justice League Unlimited. Justice League Unlimited, every episode it was like, oh no, completely different squad this week, different mission. Let's go have some fun. But like with Power Rangers, it was a thing of they go with what they know. And they know the first team was the most popular, but it had the most seasons. And so of course it's going to be the most popular. It's going to be the well-known because it was around the longest.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's been one and done. And I know with Nickelodeon stuff, they split it in half, whereas Power Rangers this and Super Power Rangers that, but still one season technically, even though they call it two. It's still one season. So, I think that whole it being there the longest plays so much into it. Plus, it got a movie. It got a movie. Power Rangers itself has had two movies. Turbo got that one movie, but that was TV canon, whereas the two Power Rangers movies are movie canon. They have nothing to do with television show. So on its own, like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is like this big, massive ball of a franchise, and that's why so many people can't let it go, as opposed to the other ones. Like I said, Wild Force is the reason why I started watching Power Rangers again, because of Forever Red. Straight up. Yeah. Like when I saw Forever Red, I was like, oh, we can do things like this? You know? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I guess I'm going to continue to watch Wild Force. And I watch the rest of them. I'm like, oh, it's all right. You know?
It's all right.
It's all right. You know, it's all right.
It's cool. What are you saying?
You know, it's okay.
I'll say refresh your camera real quick. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, who, me?
Yeah, I'll say.
Oh, I'll say, okay.
Oh, me? Gotcha.
Sorry, buddy. You're just like in this pose for like a while.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. But like, it was okay. You know, like it was okay. But it got me back to watching Power Rangers because they brought nostalgia back. But it was nostalgia, but it wasn't because it was something that had never been done before. So like, I got to give Wild Force props for that, because they didn't have to do that at all. Mm-hmm. But they did something to shake up the game, and it got everybody to watch that series again. So
I didn't want their vests. I always wanted their vest that they had.
Oh, their jackets?
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, I would buy those jackets.
Sweet.
I would buy those jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, just know that if you vote for Wild Force, you're voting for a murderer.
What?
Oh,
no, not at all. Like, okay, to be fair, what was it, like 4 years ago with PMC, where they had the entire cast of Wild Force show up, and literally every comment was, "Where's the Red Ranger? LOL." It's like,
Aw.
You got. Honestly, he comes back in Samurai, and I thought, okay, that's kind of cool, you know, that they kind of have that link there. And then, obviously, he went on the deep wall. We're not talking about the people involved.
No, I'm just being a jerk. I'm totally just being a jerk. I know.
It's no worries. If we were, that might be the reason why Mighty Morphin versus Time Force in the previous episode won, because of the whole Jason Font situation going on. You know, and the reason why Turbo didn't stand a chance either is because of Justin. But
hell yeah.
But like,
I'm not paying for that.
Can we go back for a second? My brain, I've always thought that Jurassic Park has come after Power Rangers. To have Power Rangers come out a mere month or two after Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
How?
That's why I was saying.
Oh my god.
That's why I was saying in the last time with Mighty Morphin, why this is like such like perfect timing. Like Haim Saban had no clue, right?
No, because they took it from
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He just grabbed dinosaurs. He was like, yeah, that's the one. That's like expert leadership that is unmatched. Dude, if he had them all on the table and he was like, yeah, this one.
If
like,
anyone's gonna brag about it, it's gonna be Saban.
If they did the bird theme, you think we'd still be talking about Power Rangers right now? We would not, dude. It would have been a one and done. If it was birds, no.
I mean,
Anything
if Zach died on a bench at a wedding, people remember that. Like, who watched that?
If Zach died on a bench,
Zach just leaned back on a bench and died.
He had a cigarette too.
A cigarette. Like, whoa.
With this matchup, it's also kind of funny if you think about it. Think about this. So, you know, Saban brings Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to Fox Kids. Fox Kids was like, we don't know about this, but we'll give it a go. It becomes a big hit. It becomes like the leader of the Fox Kids network move. And it brings on like a new renaissance of animated TV shows, live action shows. Fox Kids takes over Saturday mornings and like literally beats the brakes off of CBS, beats the brakes off of NBC so bad NBC said we're not doing cartoons anymore. To the point where ABC was like, they still had their thing and they were hanging in there, but it changed so much so that Power Rangers was making so much money. Saban ends up buying Fox Kids the Fox Kids block. That's his, okay? Yeah, like a ball. So then, you know, Saban's like, you know what? I think time's running out on this. Fox, you know, doesn't want, you know, Wild Force wasn't doing well in the ratings. So he's like, you know what? I'm just going to sell it all. Sells it all to like ABC Family, okay? like an ABC.
I thought Wild Force for me was on ABC Family.
No, it started on Fox. It started on.
It was
Fox.
that transition. That was the transition season.
Okay, that's in the memory. I was like, it wasn't.
That's why they had that Black episode or the Black Ranger episode for like 5 episodes was because
It was in the middle.
they only had that. That was the last one they had, and it was on ABC Family or Kids, and I never knew that because I'm a dumb little kid eating Pop-Tarts. Don't know how to change the channel.
So what ends up happening is that like he sells like pretty much like the Fox Kids block to ABC/Disney. I think they were Disney. Yeah, ABC/Disney. He gets all this money. Okay. Yeah. Wild Force ends up on ABC, and then Power Rangers is an ABC thing, then ends up being a Jetix thing, that ends up being, it's everywhere. Anyway, so Disney, who before they bought Marvel and before they bought Lucasfilm, knew they had something because they knew the toy sold. So then they're like, we don't know about this. Soccer moms are complaining, and we have this thing called Aaron Stone. Anyway, so they're like, it's like they bury Power Rangers around RPM. No one sees, and Disney's like, we're not going to fool with this anymore. We're just going to bring back season 1 and put comic book wording effects on it, and we'll sell that. And it was terrible. And so then Saban sees it, and he's like, y'all have ruined this. You know what? I'll buy it back for pennies on the dollar. Buys it back, strikes a deal with Nickelodeon, gets more money again. He still owns it, gets more money again. And then gets these seasons going again. And then once again, Hasbro's like, you know what? We're building empires. We'll take it. So Saban sells it again. This man has gotten the bag 3 times. 3 times.
Right. You're damn right.
3 times. And actually 4 if you think about it, because he built up the Fox Kids thing. Disney bought it. Then he worked with Nickelodeon and got money. And then he sold it to Hasbro. That's 4 times he collected the bag. 4.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
Squall, next time you make a video, cut all that out and do like an introduction or history of video and just take all that. Just use all that for your.
All right.
So,
It's great.
How Heinz Saban chased a bag.
Yeah. Exactly. You already know where my vote gonna go.
His
so
name's Sabag now. Okay, I know that's bad. Cut that out. Any last words? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers versus Wild Force.
No.
All right.
I don't think so.
1 for Wild Force, 2 for Mighty Morphin. No hard feelings. Oh, I think Alceus is frozen again.
You're again all pros on my side, so I can't wait.
Oh no, he's back. Okay. Oh, he's gone.
Wait, I turned it off.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, sweet. All right, so you guys ready? 1 for Wild Force, 2 for Mighty Morphin. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Mighty Morphin gets through once again. All right. So
now we're fanboys. We're just like dumb fanboys who can't get over nostalgia.
We're 90s kids.
Yeah.
We're all born in.
You know what? Like Josh wasn't. Josh got on board with Samurai, so like he's not a part of our older demographic. But I feel like, Wild Force versus Mighty Morphin. I was like, I'm going with Wild Force. But the just everything you guys said about it, and there's nothing really memorable about Wild Force. Yeah, I had to go with Mighty Morphin. Sorry.
All right.
But it's gonna
Kind of how I
have
felt too. Yeah.
it's gonna have a hell of a time once it goes up against our next episode's winner in the semifinal, which is gonna be Power Rangers RPM versus Power Rangers Dino Thunder. This one, this one we're gonna get vicious. I know. So
I can't.
That's
Alceus' favorite season versus widely considered the best season of all time. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.